Are you looking for a race car that can drive on the wall? Well, you know what? You're in the right place. Today we're looking at Radical Racers. This says it can drive up and down the wall. I'm looking forward to testing that out. But first, this is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. And my channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items, consumer goods, other household gadgets. Once in a while, I do a little bit of DIY stuff just because I like it. If that's something that interests you, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and clicking the bell next to it so you're notified every time I release a video, just like this one. Now, let's unbox the Radical Racer to see what it's really about. If you remember, not too long ago, I did a review of the Magic Trax RC, and my initial review of that was actually pretty good. What I've learned about this in the months since my review is this thing is a battery hog. I mean a real hog. I have to replace these batteries almost every time I use it just because it dies down. Now if you use it for an hour or so, batteries are just really low, and I find when the batteries are low, the remote control has trouble connecting to the car, so you're just sitting there frustrated where this is blinking and this is blinking. This new one I'm actually really interested in because the car itself is rechargeable. Now what I read from the box is the remote control requires two AA batteries that are not included, but at least the car is rechargeable, and that is something helpful. I purchased this at Walmart for about 20 bucks, which is typical for an as seen on TV product. Let's see, I'm going to open this up just to see what I have inside the box. Then I'm going to read the instructions, get it charged up, and see what we got. Oh, this is already a cool looking remote control. Look at the difference between the two remote controls. This is the Magic Trax RC, and this right here is the Radical Racers. This is a pretty cool looking remote control, and then there's the car. You see the difference in size of the two cars? Like I said, this one's really, really light, and I'm wondering if that's how it floats on the wall or glides on the wall. What looks like here looks like almost like a wind turbine or a little fan, so maybe that's actually holding it to the wall as it drives around. I'll be interested to see how this works or if it works at all. So let me read through the instructions, let me charge it up, instructions are in the box, and then I'll come back and we're going to drive this on the wall. I'm hoping it does not make any marks. I'm hoping it does not fall off the wall. So let me check this out. So I just finished looking through the instructions. There's a little charger port in the back here and this little plug that plugs into here. And if you don't have a little plug for your USB, you need to get one because this does not come with it. Just at first glance, I noticed that these wheels don't actually touch the ground or the wall if I were to put it up against. There are these two little dials here that I believe is what's going to steer. They feel like they're rubber, but these wheels don't actually touch. So that's probably how they get it to go to the vacuum or the wall mode. On the bottom here, it has a toggle that goes from, I think it goes wall, floor, off. So listen when I turn it to wall, what you hear. That's a really powerful vacuum, just like we thought here from the beginning that is actually going to suck this to the wall. I'm kind of skeptical though. Let's test it out to see if it works. I'm going to use the box that it came with. Now, I haven't charged this yet, and charging time says to be about an hour. So let's see if this actually will suction to this box. Let's see, turn it on. Oh. That was really cool. Even if I shook it just a little bit, it did not fall off. Now, like I said before, this is lightweight, so I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. So let's charge this for the hour time period, and then I'm going to put some AA batteries in here, and let's drive this around on the floor, on the wall. We'll see how long this will actually work for, and then I'll do my final review. But first look, this is really neat. So the plug on this thing, or the cord it came with, is really, really short, like 18 inches or 2 foot long. That's really frustrating. So I'm going to set it on top here, on top of my socket shelf. Remember this review I just did? I'll link it up right above, and I'll plug this in to charge. All right, so I will say there is no charging light change on the back of the car. If you can see, the charging light change is actually here. It glows red to let you know that it's charging. So let's come back in about an hour, check it out, and then race this thing around the house. Okay, so I took down the center hanging antlers here off the wall just so I can drive this around. I'm going to put it on wall mode. I'm going to turn the remote control on. I've got the car going into wall mode. Hear that noise? All right, let's see if I can get this thing to go. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, got stuck. Got stuck. Oh, that's right, I brought it back. I will say it's really weird to steer. Oh. You don't turn left and right per se, you just like do this weird spinning motion. Oop, I crashed again and it came off the wall. Now we're going to try this out on the floor. As you can see from the toggle here, it's clicked to floor mode. We're going to try out to see how this thing does. It's really weird to turn. I wish you could control that a little better. It just does that weird spin, and I guess wherever you wind up is where you go. It works on the floor, but like I said, just as difficult. Oh, I got stuck over there. So throughout my video and through the testing of the Radical Racer, I've noticed the turning was kind of weird. It would do that spin thing back and forth. I will say in the directions, there talks about turning or trim buttons. I think they call it left and right trim button. I think over time you can get this to maybe go left or right certain directions. I had a hard time with it, to be honest with you. It became frustrating. Sometimes I noticed it would go straight or turn better, but most time it was just this really, really spin. So this is something you're going to have to go over and over and over again to make sure it gets it right. Tell me real quick what you think in the comment section below about Radical Racers. Is this something that you would use? And then we'll get to my final review. Just let me know in the comment section. So today I've been looking at this sweet little item called the Radical Racers. Radical Racers' claim to fame is it can drive on the wall, drive on the ceiling, drive on the floor, and yes, it does all of those things. In this video I showed you the wall, I showed you the floor. I did try it on the ceiling, but to be honest with you, I didn't get a very good footage of it, but it does vacuum up on the ceiling. I will say, just from this little bit of use, I noticed this collected a lot of dust. You probably can't see it. There's a lot of dust that's in here, and so look, I don't know if you can see that just fall down. That's just from the walls, the floors, and I keep my floors and walls pretty clean, and so this suction thing brings in a lot. So over time, I think that would wear down. On the bottom, these things are called air skirts. Okay, that's what the company calls them, and you're supposed to make sure these maintain at a 45-degree angle. They're as thin as paper, or a little thinner, but maybe like a plastic consistency, and that's what helps it stay on the wall or the ceiling. I will say it got very frustrating even just steering this, both on the wall and the floor, because it doesn't turn typical left and right like a typical RC car would, because it's only using these two wheels to go back and forth. I will show you something that's cool that I found out when I was doing it. If you turn left or right, it does that spin thing. The corresponding light turns on to tell you which way it's going. Let's turn right and I'll show you what I mean. See how only that light turned on? Now we'll go left. And so it's showing you only that direction you're going, whereas if you go forward, both are on, or if you go backwards, both are on here in the back. That's kind of a cool thing. I will say the 10 to 15 minute playtime is what the directions say. I got about maybe 20 minutes out of it, but I noticed a diminished level of speed and power, and so you do need to recharge it every 15 or so minutes for a whole hour just to get to use it again. This was the Radical Racer. One more thing before I close this out is there is a function here, an ABC function. So if you have friends or your kids have friends, you guys can select the different letter A, B, or C, so you're not controlling each other's vehicle. I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, that was my review of the Radical Racer. I really hope you liked it. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Since you're still there, remember earlier how I referenced the Magic Tracks RC? I would love it if you would go check that video out. I'm going to link it right here so you can go over and check it out. And I'll meet you over there at my Magic Tracks RC video. See you there.